republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, good.
All right. Are there any, I gave all of you a copy by email of the minutes of the October meeting, rather. Are there any changes?
Right.
Okay. I'll make that change. So the wood cutting event is scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. It was scheduled only for Saturday for the first week in November. Any other changes? If not, I make a motion that the offer the motion.
So moved.
Second?
Accept them as corrected.
Yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any revisions, additions, or deletions, or changes to the agenda? If not, could we...
Motion to accept the agenda as written. Okay.
All those in favor?
Don't need that.
Second.
Okay.
That changed.
Okay.
Don't vote on minutes until you change them.
Okay. All right, as far as the liaison reports is concerned, Wally, is there anything?
You always make a noise, so you're gonna make me go first. You can go last if you want to. Hey, it works. There isn't really a lot to tell you about. We did talk about, for other commissions and committees, the dedication of the fountain, and there is still some work to be done on the bricks there. I did tell you that at that point in time, we were about to start on repairs to our wooden bridges on the bike paths, and those are well in hand now. If you go by, especially the big bridge, the one that parallels Meridian, you will see a whole lot of very light wood pieces in there, so that's been done. There's not much else to tell you. It's been kind of a quiet month.
Thank
End
you,
of my
Wally.
report.
The Grosseal Nature Land Conservancy, Bert, anything new to report?
Is my mic working? Yes, it is. Okay. So the annual meeting of the Grosseal Nature and Land Conservancy is coming up this Saturday at 10 a.m. and the location is going to be the Grosseal Golf and Country Club. In the past, it's been at Centennial Farm, but the location has changed. The speaker is going to be someone from BASF speaking about Hennepin Point, past, present, and future. So that should be pretty interesting. And then a couple other events. Saturday, November 15th, there's going to be an owl prowl at 6:30 p.m. on Centennial Farm. So we'll have a naturalist there who will be playing owl calls to call in owls to interact with us. And then a big day bird walk Saturday, December 13th at Centennial Farm. And I think, and then Hennepin Marsh, the Conservancy property north of Bridge Road on Meridian, that has been transformed with an observation deck. And I think that kind of a grand opening is, I don't know if that's going to be scheduled soon or wait until spring, but the Conservancy has been working on that to make that a public access point to the water.
And what did you say the annual meeting is? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
This coming Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. at the Grosseal Golf and Country Club.
Anything else, Bert?
Nope.
I see that Leah is not here tonight, so there will be no recreation report.
Any way to get somebody that can come?
She said she was going to be here, and she hasn't shown up, but your point is well taken, Woody. We do need, I would ask her to, if she's not going to be here, to get an alternate to attend, to let us know what's going on as far as the Recreation Committee is concerned. I'll make a note of that and get that corrected.
Cliff, have you met Brandy yet?
Yes, I did. I met her at the Township Board meeting that we had last Monday.
She might have some insight at this point as to who she'd like to have sent here.
Okay,
All right, just give her a chance. She's very eager to start rolling.
okay. I'm just writing down my to-dos here. Okay, the next item is the wood cutting and the junk event. Woody, could you tell us about the,
Okay, and we'll do the junk first. Dump the junk, we got, metal, we received $300 or $302 or something like that. We gave that to,
302.
302. We gave that to, I spent my mind.
Middle school
Middle school, yeah.
for the,
Over there too, didn't we?
yeah, here's a thank you note from them.
And we gave the money to the middle school so they can go on their trip. Helped them go on the trip. They didn't pay for them, helped them. Okay, and the wood cutting went really well. We had about, I'd say, close to 20, maybe 25.
25.
25 people. They came to work. They even brought a stump jumper, and, jumped, split a splitter with them. One guy did. And I think I got his gas can because somebody left some one gas can there. So I picked it up as I left, and I still got it. So he's looking for it. He can call me. And,
Okay.
a lot of positive things came out of it, like they wanted to do it again tomorrow, but we didn't do it again tomorrow. But we should do, how would you think of doing once a month?
Scheduled,
Yeah,
we could try it.
I mean, would you like to go once a month on a Saturday, or once a month for Saturday or Sunday, or what?
Which months?
I don't care. Pick one. Not next month, but say January, because a lot of things are coming up at the end of this month, and then we got holidays next month.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going different places.
The feedback I got was, they were wondering if there would be a possibility of having it other than on a Saturday or Sunday, because some of the people are working
What day
and they
are
can't
What day?
make it.
What day?
I didn't get any feedback on the day, but last year when we had this, we were talking about setting up a process that they could call either Cliff or someone and request a day, and one of us would go out there with them at an appointed area.
Not all day we'll be with them, but at the start.
Right.
We're not gonna sit there all day on a middle of the
Yeah,
week.
that we would, tighten it down, but that way it would be more available
No problem.
to people to do it.
That's what
And
they want. They're the ones that are.
so we might want to work out that process and then publish it.
Very good.
Okay, and the other thing is, we have collected the emails of the people who attended. And this was suggested by the people who were there cutting, so that, one, they could receive notice of when this was coming, and two, they were volunteering to help us take care of the open spaces, and they were willing to, when we get enough of the wood cleaned up and everything, if we want to plant trees or something, they were volunteering to help. So we've started the list, and I think that these people might turn into our friends of the open spaces when we get that pulled together. So we are listening to the people as they're out there and talking to them. I don't know, do you put thank you notes on file? I got the thank you note from the schools.
absolutely, yeah.
Here you go.
Also,
And I'll make a copy of that available for the township as well.
Okay. You
also,
want the envelope?
also was brought up that people living close to the open space
Some of the people were those people.
Okay, but they were asking if they could cut anytime they want to. And we're trying to get something from Dale saying yes. Have you got anything from him yet?
Not as yet, and that's a very good point. I think what we were, the way that it could work is that if, let's say, for example, Mr. and Mrs. Smith join one of the open space areas, and they want to cut wood behind their area, they would come to the township, make a, fill in a waiver, the time and the date and so forth, and then they would have permission to cut wood in back of their property only.
Okay, now on this time limit, are you going to put in for the next month they can do it, next year they can do it, next day they can do it? What's the time limit?
Well, I would think that they would indicate, this is just a thought, I'm going to get everybody else's opinion. They would indicate maybe the period of time that they would request. Maybe it's the week of.
Or a month of, or
The
whatever
month
it
of.
is?
Yeah, but I would like to get, personally, I would certainly welcome that. And I also would welcome their agreement to become a friend of the open space, to watch out for their area. Having said all that, I would like to get Dale's opinion on it. And I will probably be here tomorrow, and I'll check with him. But if Dale thinks it's a good idea, I see no reason why we can't implement it.
You think they should have some conversation with their neighbors and telling them they're gonna be hearing a buzzsaw out there in the backyard?
I think that can be put into maybe a little note. In other words, when you do it at a time when it's, your neighbors aren't gonna be.
Yeah, like, don't start at 6
Or just
a.m.
let them know ahead of time.
Don't start at 6 a.m. in the morning,
Right, or at 8 o'clock at night, yeah.
Miss
Good
Smith.
point. Wally, do you have any comments on that?
I think that's the greatest idea you've had in a long time. The ability for people to come here and pre-arrange.
Right.
Now, I don't know that you want to give anybody a month permit.
I know, but
But
it
if
was an
somebody
idea.
came in and said, I would like to have the ability to cut behind my property on November 6th and 7th and between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., which is pretty much daylight hours at that
Yes,
point,
okay,
I wouldn't see any reason why not.
okay. Any,
Getting back to the days, do you think Friday and Saturday would be better than Saturday and Sunday?
Asking me?
Yeah.
My
I'm asking
opinion
the
is
whole
no.
group.
It's up to the people who are gonna do it.
Right.
It's up to the
Somebody
cutters.
wants- Pardon me.
Most of us are retired.
Yeah, but some of us wanted it during the week, and I think a Friday would work out better than a Sunday if somebody wanted to cut wood during the week.
I
We
would,
don't know that. We don't know it's Friday.
No, I'm
I don't know what day
suggesting,
that
yeah.
those people were thinking
Yeah, we
about,
don't
and it
know
could
it.
be any day.
my only suggestion is that if we had this mechanism in place and you came to the township and said, I want to do it Wednesday and Thursday, a permit could be issued, you put a stake in the ground and stick your permit on it,
Correct.
and you're good to go. I'm not adverse to anything like that, but to set up a Friday, Saturday as a community event for all comers, I don't think so.
But we'd
That's gonna
have-
deplete your already
Yeah, we'd
sparse
have more of a
resources.
system in place if we did it this way, you know.
yeah,
Let them pick the day.
yeah. Now, as far as people who do not live adjacent to any open space, we could continue to have the wood cutting events, let's say one in the fall or one in the spring or whatever, you know,
Or we could have it once a month.
once a month or whatever. How many times that we would want to be out there, kind of monitoring?
I mean, we don't have to babysit them.
Yeah,
All we have to do is make sure they're there and come back every once in a while. You
Yeah.
don't have to be constantly over their shoulder.
I think it's a good idea, and I'll get in touch with Dale and see if he has any. I don't think there's any legal ramifications on it. We've already got
Just a
the
waiver.
system in place.
Yeah, we just have to make sure that they're not overcutting, you know.
Absolutely.
Not cutting
Well, they have to be
trees
cutting
down
this-
that are good.
Right.
Cutting the stuff that's down, not
Cutting
new stuff.
Everything that's
Right.
down,
It has to be
Not new
dead,
stuff.
and it has to be laying on the ground.
right.
Right.
Okay,
We can cut, John said he would cut for us trees. He'll cut the trees and drop them, and then we can go and.
The
send
dead
it-
trees.
Oh, yeah, the dead.
Yeah,
trees.
because there's a lot of dead trees that haven't fallen
Right.
yet.
Ton of
Have to come
dead
down.
trees behind the fire department.
Some of them can be pulled down, so you have the root system out of the, ground,
Yeah, well,
instead of just chopped down.
okay,
know.
also,
Okay.
I don't know how we would monitor this, or if it's too complicated, but we should at least specify that those homeowners that we give that special permission to should not encroach on the open space that's behind them. Because my husband and I just walked through the 3 properties we were assigned, and Wendell Court has a lot of encroachment in that little woods.
oh, yeah, a lot of the neighbors are
Right.
going back.
Right, there's a lot of things stored there, and
Yeah, right, right.
Well, in a case like that, I think what we should do is if you see something like that, get a hold of Tony Gray. And he's the township code enforcement officer, and have him go out there and just warn the individual. We had an instance of that happening in one of the other open spaces, and Tony was out there within about maybe 4 hours after he was notified of the encroachment, and the person corrected the problem.
Okay, also, can we get
I'll give 'em a
TNT to go in specifically down there by the cemetery road and cut the bramble bushes out so we can get back in and cut the rest of the wood?
If need be, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's need be.
Okay. All right. Okay, any other conversations or comments about the wood cutting? Just to summarize, I'll get in touch with Dale tomorrow to see if we can get permission, if he has any objections to restrictions on those that live adjacent to the open spaces can go in and cut wood, provided it's dead, it's laying down, and provided they get a waiver ahead of time.
Now, what lady out here, she wants to, how is she gonna find that out tomorrow? Or the next day? Will she call you, call Dale?
When we finally get Dale to bless it, if person is here tonight, we'll call her directly, okay? And we'll also make a note of that in the Grow Seal website and also via the paper. And if you would, Woody or Wally, once we get it all firmed up, we'll make an announcement at the board meeting.
Sure.
So we can cover the website.
Once we get it okayed, then we can hit the website.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I'll do that tomorrow.
I don't wanna be stepping out there and then nothing's happening.
And while we're at it, I want to thank Woody for pulling this together. He does a great job.
Well, thank you,
Amen.
Thank you, Woody.
thank you, Daddy.
Okay. Leah, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Give us an update on the recreation department if you could. You ready?
I can be ready.
Okay.
Am I on? I guess, yes.
Yes, you are.
Well, our community rec director is in place. I haven't met her, I just returned from Arizona about an hour and a half ago, so I haven't met her yet. But she took over at the end of October. We had a meeting that was not televised just before I left to chat about some organizational issues. And I did that night report about the dump the junk and so forth, but it didn't get on the air. But I wanted to compliment Open Space on the advertising with the signs. I think those were very effective. So unless you have specific questions, that's kind of where we are. We're just going to get to know our new director,
Okay.
continue with the 5-year plan, which is almost at its, next year is its last year, so next year we'll be starting another 5-year plan.
Very good. Okay. Anything else, Leah?
I can think up, if I do, I'll come back.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a report on the trails, wildlife sanctuary. Pat, is there anything new to report?
I ordered more tree signs, but we won't put them up until the spring where we have leaves, so we can make sure we have the right trees.
Okay. Thank you. Darrell, anything as far as
Well,
this?
you and I went out and, Cliff and I went out and reviewed the mulch that was dumped, and that was very fine. But I think the trails that we're doing too much damage to the trails. They're too wide. And we need smaller equipment to get in there and make the trails narrower. And that way they'll be more natural.
How narrow do you want them?
Well, I could demonstrate. I could go out there and demonstrate how they should be made. And, the mulch that we had dumped there was enough to handle the whole trail that we had.
Yeah.
But they just made a mess out of it.
Okay, I'm gonna go out and look at it tomorrow.
Okay, look at it tomorrow.
Okay,
And,
okay.
But then, what about
the same way with your trail, Pat? It's way too wide. It's not anything of what should be done with those trails.
If you want to have access for emergency evacuation, and you want to have access for equipment to dump the mulch for us, if you make it much narrower, it won't work.
I know, but they're just entirely too wide. You know, and we're using too much mulch. And
we got all the mulch in the world.
well,
You have
that's
all the
okay. I'd
mulch
like
in
to
the
get
world,
some.
and once you get the bed set, it's only every 3 years you
Right.
have to replace it.
Right, but
So-
it's not like Mother Nature,
But you don't,
you know?
well, you're right. If you have the pure one, pure natural trail, like the Manchester Woods, I agree with you. But the wildlife sanctuary trail, first off, it's
Well,
already that wide.
but Manchester, let's get
Yeah.
back to that. That's
Okay,
what we're working on
Manchester, I
right now.
agree with you. I totally agree. You don't want it as wide
You
as the
can't
wildlife.
you can't destroy everything. You can still
No,
get in there
ab-
with emergency
You're
vehicles.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But being that the trail at the wildlife sanctuary was already that wide, we did not make it any wider.
Well, it could have been done a lot neater. I think. You know, it was done haphazardly, like the Manchester Trail was done. We destroyed so much in there that, you know, we can't do it that way. We've got to have a smaller piece of equipment to make these trails, you know. And you can still get the emergency vehicles through there.
Okay,
Well, let's look into that.
Let's look into it.
okay.
Okay, playscape.
There was a group of volunteers that did a lot of work on the playscape itself, and I think it's time that we spend some time to improve that particular trail. And,
You're talking about the one that goes to Parkwood, right?
well, there's two parts to that trail. There's the trail that goes from the playscape, and it makes a loop around inside the trail. And then there's another natural trail, or trail that's been made by travel
People.
people, that goes from there out to Grosse Ile Parkway.
Correct.
So if we're going to improve that trail, we should do it from the playscape out to Grosse Ile Parkway.
I think you got a ditch in there, don't you?
I'm not sure. I think one of us has to go out there and walk it, and then get the, and then we'll make arrangements as we did with the other trails. Get somebody in there and,
Because
Right,
there's one,
right.
doesn't one go up, west? Doesn't one go up west and come back around? Pam used to talk about it all the time.
The one goes up in back of Kroger's.
Yeah, by the
back.
police department.
But I haven't taken the other trail, so I don't know where that goes.
That's just, the people that made that trail, they go back and forth from Parkway or the houses over on that
Yeah.
side through a shortcut to Macomb.
Is that on open space?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think step one is that I would like to go out and, I'd like to see exactly what this trail is going from the end of the playscape up to, Rosita Parkway,
Okay,
and decide what we have to do. It appears, correct me if I'm wrong, that is the playscape gonna be around for a number of years, or what are we gonna do with it?
it ain't moving.
Yeah, this point, from the community expert point of view, it's there, and we don't have any plans to tear it down. And the volunteers, I guess some Boy Scouts were involved, right, Wally?
Costs too much money to move it.
And a bunch of people from the Presbyterian Church, and they've really taken it under wing and really want to keep it on as a valuable community place.
Well, then we have to improve that trail.
Cliff, if you want me to go with you, we could do our Bogart and Hepburn trip again and
Okay.
check out the trip.
Sure could.
Okay. All right, let's try to do that.
Try, yeah.
Does he pull the boat?
He just walks.
He just walks, he doesn't pull the boat, huh?
He just-
There's a story behind that, which I will tell you.
In
after
private,
the
I hope.
meeting's over. No, but seriously, let's plan on, Tuesdays, let's plan on, what day next week do you wanna do it? Not this week, but next week.
Monday? No, that's not, yeah, well, Monday would work.
At what time?
In the afternoon.
Call it
Early in the morning.
What time do you wanna do it?
early, 9, 10, 8?
8 o'clock? Or no, 9 o'clock.
It only, it only should take about 20 minutes to go through that thing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stay out there and,
Playscape.
write a novel.
All right.
Just a short story.
All right, the next one is the
Maybe a short
Manchester
story.
Trail, and I have been derelict in not doing anything with that trail, because we're tied up with so many other things, but we have to, I think the decision we have to make there is to get permission to go across the bridge and then go out to East River Road. I don't think we can,
We're gonna have to build our own bridge.
not unless we get permission to use the other. Patty, you have some comments on that?
We have to do something, because as it is, we have the trail sign up. And you get on the trail and you follow the trail. There's no indication when you get off of open space, and you do end up on private property.
Yeah. and
So
that
if
can't
we
happen.
don't rectify that, we have to at least, I think, put up a sign and say, open space trail ends here.
Right.
Okay.
We have to do one or the other.
Okay.
So we have to find either a small, how far was the ditch, you think? 100 feet, 10 feet?
I would say it was close to, I would estimate, correct me if I'm wrong, Carol, because you and I walked that, it's at least 1.5 times as long as the Manchester, as the Wildlife Sanctuary Trail. It's a long way back.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
Talking
about the ditch.
the ravine, the ditch.
The ditch.
How wide is it?
How wide is the ditch? Is it from here to that wall?
No, 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 no.
No, no. It's about, I would say about
Half the wall?
10 feet wide.
I'm not
You could
talk-
almost jump it.
I'm not talking about, okay, you're talking about 10 feet wide this way, not this way.
This
It's
way.
10 feet wide.
It runs the
And it
whole
runs the
length.
entire length of the property.
It runs the
Okay,
whole
so
length.
you're 10 feet, you're almost to that podium,
Yeah, about from here over to the podium.
okay? So we need to find a substance to put down so they can walk over it, because I don't think we will get permission from the landowners to go around on their property. So we have to do our own.
That's assuming we take it out to East River.
Or where else you want to take it?
The other option is to end it, that, you know.
No, we got the property, let's use it.
All right. Let me make this thing, are we in agreement, in other words, are we saying that we want to make sure that that trail goes from Meridian out to East River?
I think
Naturally.
we ought to investigate the cost impact to do that.
The only cost is gonna be is the bridge.
Yeah,
The chips are free.
right, but how much is the bridge gonna cost?
Why don't we find out? 10
That's what I
feet,
said.
10
Perhaps
feet.
not a bridge,
Huh?
perhaps not a bridge. What's wrong with
Right.
the culvert?
Well,
Yeah.
they won't put a culvert in there, I've been told.
Who's they?
I'm not gonna get into that right now.
Well, let's,
Let me know who they is and I'll speak.
let's find out exactly what is the cheapest way to get a crossing across that ravine that's safe for the residents. And then we can cost it out, determine how much it's gonna cost and how it's gonna be done.
One thing it's worth asking is you can use the bridge.
Exactly,
It gets
Yeah.
used
right.
a lot
Yes,
by the-
Yeah, I think you
Ask
should
the
start
owner.
it, but it's more than just the bridge, it's once you cross the bridge,
You still have,
then you go on to private property.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes,
it's private property,
just
so we
want-
have to find out
Yeah.
if the private property is available.
right.
Yeah, okay. So it's not just the bridge, it's the bridge
And-
Release to water.
And the private property.
Well, the bridge does not, the private bridge just goes to the people's property. If we
Yes.
put a bridge in, we're not even touching it.
That's
Right.
It's the
Right.
bridge, the natural bridge is at the far, is at
East.
the north end of the property.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes,
Right.
Correct.
And it's almost to that.
Court.
river, That court.
yeah.
And can we put a trail in after the bridge, a small trail?
That's the
That's-
point.
that's the
because if-
point
if
we
you
have to have.
Follow the visual trail right now. You come out on this gentleman's driveway.
Right, exactly.
Which is not really kosher.
No.
Exactly.
Is there room for a trail paralleling his property or on his property, paralleling the driveway? Is there room there?
I'm not quite sure where his driveway and the other
We'll have to look at it.
space is involved. You'd
We
have
gotta
to
get the
look
plot
at it.
plans out. We gotta
Yeah.
look.
We gotta look at that.
But I do suggest if we put in a bridge of our own, that we make it an appropriate size so that wheeled vehicles, i.e. three-wheeled vehicles, cannot go over it. Because one of the problems when you're walking that bridge is very evident, there have been wheeled vehicles back there. There's ridges all along where the wheels have gone through and broken up the trail,
Right.
so.
Okay, it looks like we have some to-dos.
I think we have a little bit of research to do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we've talked about it, but there's been other things that we've been contending with for the last couple of months. Okay, good points, everyone. Okay, the next item is the public comments, and if ladies and gentlemen who are with us, if you want to come up and say a few words.
No, I don't have any comments.
You don't have anything to say?
No, I don't.
Jesus,
Okay.
that's different.
All right. Well,
Watching this.
we welcome your attendance, and if you have any comments, we will welcome those as well.
Thank you.
All right, next item is the progress on the prior month action items. Expand the surveillance of open spaces, Friends of Open Spaces. Anything to report on that, anybody?
No.
We, are starting to talk to people who participate in our events. The response I have gotten is people are very open to having something like this. The ranger that we have from the, where is she from, Bert?
She works for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
Okay, from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, gave a talk on what they do at the garden club last month. And one of the things that she was talking about was they have a friends of their trails, etc. So I'm put it on my agenda to talk to her and find out how they have that organized, to give us some ideas on how we might do that. So I've taken that action on my own.
Excellent. Is there any, as far as along with that, in our previous conversation about allowing people to cut wood behind their homes, those that live on the adjacent open spaces, to have them volunteer as friends of open spaces.
Pardon?
The people that live adjacent to
Right.
the open spaces. Ask them, in other words,
Right,
they are the
okay.
people that would, probably, some of them would go out and cut some wood for us, or for them rather. And as part of that, they would agree to, it's not conditional, but we would ask them to become friends of the open spaces for that particular area that they're adjacent to.
Mhm.
And that would help tremendously. And I think we should pursue that, assuming that the wood cutting thing can be expanded to those people. Okay, the next item is the letter to the new residents.
Okay, me.
Yeah.
I have the list of the people who moved in October. The letters will be going out this week. I'm on the list to receive the updated 16.
Really?
There were 16 on there, yeah.
Okay.
I have, I'm on the list that they would just automatically now send it to me. And I've got the stationery and the paper and all that. So we're set to activate that again.
Please forgive me for my senior moment here. I forgot about the publishing the revised open space and trail guide. Bert, you and I were going to work on that, and I'm open. We haven't, for obvious reasons. And so I'd like to set a time when maybe we can have a get-together just one time, maybe prior to the holidays, and get an idea of what we want to do. And I think we're targeting this for when? The spring?
Yeah.
Or, okay. So you set the time, and then we can get together and have a little session where we can at least get the thing started. And then decide after the holidays, because it's hard to, do anything between now and Christmas time as far as getting this thing out. But let's get our act together, so to speak, as far as what we're going to do. Okay. All right, are there any other items that we want to talk about? Lee?
All set?
Darrell? I have nothing. Bert?
Well, Liz Hugel from the Conservancy brought up to me Woody's at, when she went to dump the junk and she saw some chicken wire and stuff in the metal spot. And, once it's there, it's there, and it can't be taken out. But it would be very helpful to the Conservancy to have free stuff, that we could use to put around the trees and stuff that we're planting in the Conservancy properties to protect them from deer and rabbits. And so she was,
Such as?
like, if there's chicken wire or something like that that's dropped off in the metal spot, if there's any way to extract that for reuse.
Okay, chicken wire, is that specifically chicken wire or just wire? Because there's stuff that comes in, but the heavy metal stuff, I don't want to go because we lose money there.
Right. Well, I know, that, there's kind of a trade-off between raising funds and then
Yeah, right.
supporting the
But
island
I just want to
partnership.
have, we gotta stop it somewhere.
Right, and I know we don't want professional scrappers coming in and taking stuff out.
All of us probably were there, and I got tired of saying, no, you can't take it.
Right.
And they say, why? Because we're gonna give the money to an organization. But why? It's like we're doing a kids' routine here.
And a lot of it was taken because while I was working, people came up to me and said, you better go back there because people are absconding with it.
Yeah.
So we either have to have a better way of,
Well, we've gotta have a better way. We didn't have the bucket.
I know,
The bucket,
yeah.
we wouldn't have got to it.
But if we see stuff, for example, that we know the Conservancy might want, maybe we can try and set that aside.
Okay. Maybe somebody from the Conservancy could come,
Right.
like, in the afternoon on Sunday.
Yeah, Bert, because the last time we had it, there were people there from St. James, and they had asked that when our thing was over, could they come and take what they thought would be good for their use? And so if we could work out something, that might be good. Pre-planning is always a good idea.
Pat, anything else that you have? Any
Anything else
other
that I
comment?
have?
No?
Oh, yes, I want to also congratulate you for updating our Groseal Township webpage. I've gone through it, and I think we are more updated than some of the other commissions and committees in having our minutes and information there, so thank you for doing that.
Well, it's, Ted always has to, could be thanked for that as well.
Okay, Ted.
Okay. Woody, anything? No. Okay. Wally, is there anything that you have, any other additional comments?
The only comment I was going to make was when we were talking about the open space and trail guide, please do not forget that you have a wonderful mechanism available to you from the Recreation Department.
We have that in mind. yes.
Channels is the place to put that.
Absolutely.
It's on our list. You got to us.
You know, I got to you and Leah got to you too, I think. But that is a wonderful publication, and I think it's going to get better and better. So let's take advantage of its publicity.
If not, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion adjourned.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to adjourn to a closed-door session for about 10 minutes. and,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.